Button pusher. The button pusher like me now. Got love for your button pusher. We're trying to get the whole thing together. You know what it is, man. There's different type of people in the world right now, man. Come on now. Y'all know what's up. We don't even want to sabotage each other no more. We want to see how good we can really do it. Shit. Like, man, how good can we really do, man? Plus, you know, it's a lot of Africans talking right now, man. A lot of them, man. And they figuring out some stuff too, man. Some of our little Africans from, you know, in Kenya and other places. You can tell the sincerity of certain Africans, you know what I'm saying? If they have a personality or not, or if they have some type of if they're more psychopathic or are they more empathic. Pardon thyself. We're just talking about them covering up the clouds, right? And covering up the sun. Well, they made sure it was an overcast today. Look at that. It's an overcast now. Look. As far as the eye can see. Covered up. Even the cup is gonna look around real fast. Make sure. Oh, my African brothers and sisters, Oh man, we gotta set the record straight real fast. My African brothers and sisters, 'cause it seems like you're kind of going past what's going down. Except a few. It's a few African brothers and sisters that know. I mean, I'm pretty sure the elite Africans know. You know what I'm saying? It's funny saying African, but we're gonna tell you what it is, man. Especially about, you know, NAGAs. In my eye. Them flies up, you know what I'm saying? So you know there's some eyes around. You know, it's cloudy, so people come outside on a cloudy day. I just want to be like, finally, a break from the sun. We'll be outside. And it's not even like a whole bunch of sunny days either. So, you know, hence, I got the clothing on. Cut the shirt myself, though. Hooked it up myself. So, yeah, anyhow, though. You hear a lot of wordplay, man. They talk about, hey, I'm cool, man. What's going on with you? Elliot, what's happening? Jared, what's good, man? Hope y'all see the title, because we're putting a separation into the differences between Africans and black folk in America. And there is a difference, because I keep seeing a lot of African stories, their videos, they keep kind of sliding in that niggas is from Africa. You know what I'm saying? Black folks from Africa. And what the world calls black folks, Negro, colored, and all these different things. Greetings from, hey, peace, Germany, what's happening? I'm having a good day today. Hope y'all having a good day. You're tuning in. But you know, they got it cloudy out here. They're covering up. They're making it cloudy, man. They're trying to do something. They're hiding something, man. They're hiding something. But we all working together. It's not like we all, you know, shout out to the family around the world, because we're correcting things that's going on in America, you know, and the unbalancement of energies, you know, and the people know what's been going on, the corruptness and shit like that. I ain't the one exposing it. Hey, what's happening, Austin? I ain't the one exposing them, just showing a difference between, you know, black folks and Africans, and there is a difference. We may look similar, or they may kind of trick everybody to make everybody think that we're like African American, but we're not. I'm CHOCTAW, Native American. Like my mama, my grandmama, my great grandmama, my granddad, everybody's, you know, they've been there since been there. All right. So we don't have no stories of Africans like coming to Mississippi, Louisiana, things of that nature. Maybe a couple, but that was it. Big things was popping in America a long time ago. You know, it was buildings. We had big ass buildings. We had Chicago already built. It was already built. Like thousands of buildings was in Chicago already, man, when they showed up. New York too, or Manhattan. You know, we even had an extra borough that got flooded out. See. I gotta build about that one. You know, so, you know, we already had things popping. Thanks for giving me a shout out. We already had things popping, you know, so there's a separation. So when I run into certain Africans, and I had some African homies, some Liberians, I had some the ones who were real dark. I had a brother named Ibrahim. I love you too, man. Peace. You know what I'm saying? That good energy. Good vibe, you know. So I had some friends from Africa. They came over to America. They lived amongst us, and they got a chance to see us up close and be around us. You know, whether the ones from certain tribes that you would never probably barely see. You know, that's dark and they're like, damn, they got like brown hair, but they got like blue black skin and shit, but they cool with us. You know, they got a chance to live amongst us, and they know that there is a difference. You know, and they know we have a little bit of love, but Africa. I see that a lot of the videos, and I respect a few that actually come with the truth, you know, but they keep trying to slide us in that we're like, they keep trying to name us like, you know, like we came from Africa 400 years ago, you know, and we've been around for a while. And anybody who have ever came from Africa, if we ever seen them, we taught them our ways, you know, they got down with us. So it's a total big difference. And to show you that it's a big difference between niggas from America or the foundational American, the true American, we ain't even got to put black in front of the shit. You get to say true American. Just like they African, we ain't say the foundational black Africans. You know, I guess we got to say that now because it's going to be some South Africans that's white shit. They going to be, you know, that's what they are. So you see the confusion of the words. But anyhow, though, you can tell the difference between us when you seen with Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman in Kinshasa, Zaire. You see, when Muhammad Ali brung over there, these are American niggas that can box and how they fight and, you know, the magnetism. When Muhammad Ali came over there, he brung James Brown, a lot of little, howdy, what's going on, Jacob? You know what I'm saying? He brung James Brown, he brung, a lot of rock and roll artists, you know what I'm saying? Just to showcase our culture, to meet with their culture. Well, nothing about no fighting to hurt each other. We already have a paid fight that's going down, and now they can see two Americans fight it out in a noble sense without wanting to kill each other after the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like the fight's over, it's left in the ring, you know? So they got a chance to see this. And the music that came over there, when James Brown, they went to visit certain areas and villages, the villages, they had their music too, in certain areas, but the music was different. Even though they had the drum and it was boom, 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 stuff like that, it still, and they had little flutes. It wasn't like electric and even the acoustic sounds of, you know, what the American brought through. And did the American look down? No, they didn't look down on the African. They came in and danced with them with that. The difference is that the American is like on a higher etheric level when it comes to, you know, dealing with reality and connection to creativity and art. It's not to say that the Africans are down. They up there too. It's like the Americans are like Michael Jordan, and Africans kind of like Kobe and LeBron. You know what I'm saying? See, Kobe had to learn a little bit from Jordan and shit, how to move and how to protect the ball. But Jordan naturally was born with this shit by just observing, you know, the love for the game when he studied individuals. You know what I'm saying? It was so weird, dog. You know, so we was able to be like, you know, we still had love for him, you know what I mean? And so our music sounded a little bit different. So they sat there and looked at it like, wow, look at how James Brown is moving. It's a different type of move. The guitars played with electric sound with copper wires and shit. They're just amazed, man. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely a total difference. And even now, when I run into certain Africans that come out here, they be like, yeah, brother, look at Africa now. And they show me some pictures like, yeah, you thought you was in huts and stuff, huh? I was like, nah, motherfucker, that's what they try to market to us. We loved y'all. We loved y'all more than y'all loved yourself. We rocking African medallions, motherfucker, talking about the motherland. If that's the motherland, when we rocking with the motherland, man, you know. But now we see they was dealing with some type of they wanted our land and shit. Our land was actually the jewels because we had a lot of different everything, man. The horn of plenty, all the plants, all the everything, man. The fruit plants, the fruits, you know, and the ripening of the people on our side of the world, which was, you know, they were spiritual and noble. And you can see it even now in today's action. Now they're starting to see it in the world, you know. But the Africans are starting to see too that niggas in America have a heart of gold. Hence that matches the land of gold, the land of milk and honey, the streets made of gold. These motherfuckers wanted to find the streets made of gold for forever. They just like, man, these niggas is over here balling the fuck out to the point they can put streets made of gold. God damn. You know, so we was actually like that, and it was more healing anyways, you know, especially if you walk, imagine walking barefoot on gold, man. You probably ain't got no goddamn arthritis or nothing. Soft gold on your feet, man. Feeling all good when you walk and energized. You got copper on and with jewels. You're feeling great, man. You ain't lying to each other. You got virtual mobility with one another and shit. That's how we was living. Some mugs wanted to come over. It took a long time to get over to our shit, but they made it. It was already prophesized, you know what I'm saying? So it was a difference. So the African kind of don't really know that. They was kind of being used as pawns a little bit because how they've seen the white folks a little bit, you know, even though we still be chilling with them too, because we ain't got no hate in our heart, you know, but the way they seen them in such a manner where it was like, you know, they drop off food and shit like that to their villages, you know? And whereas other cultures, they'll see white folks like, you know, the Hawaiians and stuff, they'll see them kind of like as a friend. Like they kind of cool, they can hang out with them. This is dealing with cluster B personality. But as an American, niggas seeing white folks is a different form of way that we see white folks. Like I say, everybody got their exposure to seeing how white folks dealt with each other. And like the Hawaiians deal with white folks, they see them as like a friend. The Africans see them more so like they a god damn near, because it's like they only come every so often and they're bearing gifts, you know, dealing with this idolized, dividing, discard. They're dealing with that cluster B part of a personality disorder. But the Hawaiians are dealing with it more of like a friend aspect. And then with the American niggas, is dealt with them straight up like, dude, you are destructive and you're volatile. And nobody would believe the American nigga and shit because, you know, we still doing business with them and, you know what I'm saying, and having all kind of, you know, they showcasing all our celebrities, taking them all around the world, touring, and it's like, you better not tell them that I got your motherfucking ass on by a yoke, man. You know what I'm saying? They kind of telling the celebrity to do that. The celebrity can only say so much through their, you know, through their silence. And so we still admired our celebrities, you know, of course. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we had a different view of how we dealt with things. And then we know there's something that behind the whole little thing too, that they were kind of pawns and straw men too. But we had a different understanding. Now the Africans are starting to see, you know, a little bit more. Instead of just saying that, the only thing they're missing is that we think they're still trying to say we was taken for Africa. They not, no. If somebody was taken from our land, which we know that ain't too many, but we know a few is over there in Britain and in England, you know what I'm saying, and a few is in the Bahamas, you know, in the you know, Caribbean and all that stuff. But if anyone was taken from us, the American way is to go get them, just like that. That's how we do. That's how you think the military is like that, man. That's how brave niggas is, man. They never seen such niggas as in the world as brave as niggas in America was, man. So they kind of infiltrated. You know, we're dealing with spiritual nature, man. So it's a difference between us. This is just a difference between us and Africans. One's a little bit more etheric. And it's not to say that we're masquerading our superiority, but now the Africans are starting to wake up to big bro now. Big bros in the world, you know? And that things were taken from us, you know? Things were taken from us. Because if the Africans really knew that we was us, you know what I'm saying? And you see the propaganda with certain Africans that's doing the I show speed. Like, look at how everybody's treating speed in Africa, but not really studying and showing improvement. Like, look how speed is treated all over the world, man. He's treated like this everywhere, motherfucker. But in Africa, it's like, you know, speed is trying to connect with, you know, the family, as they say. You know what I'm saying? But people are piggybacking off of the whole little diaspora thing and not recognizing there's separation within us. This is all mathematics, man. It's dealing with the culture. You got the four sides of mathematics, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The same thing with the elements, you know. This is math. This is Most High's way of explaining the divinity of who He is. So we have to be a little bit separate. We have to show that we're separate real quick. And it's like they're afraid of dealing with the cluster B personality disorder of this abandonment issue. You know. Peace. So we had, you know, afraid of the abandonment issue that we all been kind of triggered on in the world, kind of looking at, like, you know, don't want to be left behind, you know. And so, but we're now addressing this at the world table. Like, okay, if we were taken from Africa, there would be some land that was given to us, that would be given to us so we can farm and show our gifts and our skills, our talents and all of that good stuff. Shout out to the high priestess for doing, you know what I'm saying, for being able to you know, come back with what we know. But it goes to show you by history now that we already was advanced to a high status, man. I mean, our cities like Baltimore, like Buffalo, New York's, all these cities, man. You know what I'm saying? And we don't deal with gaslighting and projection, you know, with the cluster B personality disorder, man. You know, that's just meant to try to hurt somebody's, like, you know, feeling or mental. That's just showing that a person is like broken, man. We like past that. A lot of people in the world now just want to heal, you know, including you. And that's already, I know the hurtness in there. It's all good. My mother is a natural Choctaw Native American, naturally born on the soil, man. And we go all the way back since the beginning of time, you know. But the thing is, we're just set forth the truth right now, what's going on in the world, why things is being played out the way it is in the first place, you know. So it's a divine thing that's going on. We're just holding this to separation and to show that, hey, man, we have a culture as well. Since we're gaslighted and projected upon, like we don't have no type of living, you know what I'm saying, no type of essence of growing up, and we don't have no type of honor and nobility. But we had a union of a whole America. Like, it was called GODBODY. We was already there. That was our government. This is where the Constitution and all that stuff come from. We already had it laid down, you know. But they don't want to tell everybody that, because all the buildings, the Capitol buildings, was already made. And so, when I say the Capitol buildings, shit, we already had our other brothers up north, our Ojibways. You know what I'm saying? We dealt with each other. We didn't harm each other at all, really. It's certain agents they brought in to mask, like they was harming us. But our Ojibways, them brothers they still cool. When I lived in Minnesota, I lived amongst them, the Sioux, the Sioux Native Americans. Man, these mothers is tall, 7 feet tall, peaceful as in a mug, man. Peaceful. And they can get dark as hell with straight jet black hair. Cool as hell, and got the same type of vibe as niggas do. Why? Because we've been around each other the longest. And this is where the unity is gonna come back in anyways, because they've been under the spell too. You know, their connection to the white folks was, you know, dealing with treachery. You know, they was gaslighted upon as well, like, you know, like to turn their back on their brothers. They don't feel good about that either, man. You know? We was all faced with this cluster B personality disorder. You know what I mean? And I say, my relations with them, we always been cool. And they had, when we had the vice lords in Minnesota, man, and there was like a serious branch. That's where they actually came out. People was having schools and stuff like that. The native mob, they came in, they had a mixture of most of the native tribes up there. And we were so cool. Everybody shook up, threw up the 5, all that, man. Like, you know, everybody was on, man. Nobody war with each other. Everybody rotated every Friday. They built, man. Damn near hundreds on Lake Street. They didn't want to let nobody know that. It was about to be a whole uniting thing going on, but it probably happened too soon, because something happened where a police officer died and things of that nature and shit. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like split everybody up. But it was big, man, because they had actual schools where they were teaching teenagers, you know what I'm saying, growing them up, teaching the true histories and shit. You know, and so, yeah, so that's what they was afraid of, you know what I mean, for us uniting like that and you know, getting back together. Because they had a whole neighborhood. Nobody never knew about that. I'm pretty sure ain't too many people know about the native neighborhoods, you know, in any of the United States. I know about a whole neighborhood, man. They call it the Indian Center. They had a whole basketball team. They moved just like us, like niggas. Like, they could, with the ball behind the back, they got the groove. They had the pretty girls. And our women like them. Just like that, G. And it was no problem. It's no problem. We've been around each other the longest. It's gonna take us to come together again. We just turned our back on each other. But now we know not to do that ever again, G. You know what I'm saying? And so they trying to get them off the land too. They getting the ones that's not right in his act off the land. That's all it is. So all the arguing, that's gonna slow down a little bit. We got the all spirit. That's all we roll with, B. That's all we roll with. You know, so the only way to really face that is really through celibacy. As men, all the warrior men can just do celibacy for this little year, and don't even jump right back in, and you appreciate it. You ain't gonna jump back in. The winds is blowing, so most eyes with it. I feel the high that the air, boy, feels. Whew. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, we'll be able to honor our organization just through this celibacy, just through semen retention, because the nobility will grow, your love will grow, your love for one another will grow, the codes will come back online. You won't forsake one another ever again, G. Because we was low, we was getting comfortable. You know, we living amongst each other, chilling, G. I'm talking about got corn everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? Corn, chilling, visiting each other, going up to Montana, checking out what's going on with bros up there, man. They showing us all the little rivers, and I'm chilling, talking to the bisons and everything, G. You know? So, same difference. They coming down there to the Gulf, we all chilling together. But they separated us, you know? We're the true Americans. We ain't no foundational blacks. We're just true foundational Americans, both of us. That's over there. We had a whole thing going on. The whole everything connected. Hiawatha, all that is connected to us. You know? But they just got separated and they was giving gifts. Like, you know, when you're dealing with narcissistic personality disorder, motherfucker come in and split you up. They'll go woo another mother, you know what I'm saying, and then kind of, you know, put the little shit on them, you know? Just divide you. They know already though who they had to do that to. And it's okay. We forgive you so let's forgive each other so we can move on. You know what I mean? We got something going on in the spirit game, you know what I mean? I seen how they made the Indians drunk in Minnesota. They had their whole area, B. You know what I'm saying? They had their whole area. And they got a lot of Minnesota, period. Shakopee, they got their own everything. They had a whole land and shit. You know, with houses and shit built on it. I was always cool with them. They had weed and shit like that. You know, coming down to the roof. And they thick too. They deep. And then they had them, and the ones that's living in the city, they got a project too. And niggas and black folk and natives living in the same projects. And ain't nobody fighting or killing one another. In the same projects. In Minnesota. So I'm just letting you know, it definitely can happen. We never hate each other in the first place. We ain't never hate each other, dude. I'm just letting you know, whatever they talking about online, we ain't never hate each other, man. Because they too nice. We've been too cool with each other. If black folks and natives, and the native mob and all that can live in the same projects, ain't none of them kill one another in these projects. As Minnesota's documented. But sometimes, niggas can kill one another in each other's project, in the same projects. But these two mixed together, ain't none of that happen. Nobody robbing, nobody doing none of that shit. So I know it can happen. I know it can work. And I worked with a few of them and shit too. We always hung out with each other and ate. When we on break, we was on break together and shit. You know, my dark suit brother, you know, he like 6'5" and shit. You're a shooting guard, nigga, you can shoot good. You know, you would never know this. Because they live on a reservation and shit. Motherfuckers got handles out this world, man. And I knew them and shit. I knew a lot of them, man. I knew a lot of them. And I know a lot of black folks ain't never knew a lot of natives. That's why Mosai brought me up to Minnesota so I can meet the other natives. You know, and I know he knew that other brothers ain't never met other natives like that. Only the niggas in Minnesota and the ones that's like in, you know, Wisconsin and South Dakota and shit like that. North Dakota, really North Dakota. You know, that really built with the true natives and shit, you know. Then you'll know that everybody's been cool anyways. And we ain't never had no hate with each other. So this is where that whole little shit, they try to put the psyop in between us and shit. But we're gonna have to unite. We're gonna have a big ass powwow right in Keokee too. We're just gonna find a way to unite. And the way is through celibacy for men first, you know? Everybody start blending together. They women and our women act just the same, and they're separate. And they ain't ghetto. They ain't gotta look at a black woman. They already got that same little sassy shit. We've been around each other for thousands of years, man. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, man, we was already mating with each other and shit. Mosai got his hand on America. It's our land and shit. You know, so anyhow though, celibacy. I'm gonna travel up north, build with your brothers. You know, the ones up north, you know, they're a little different. They're actually cool. But I seen them how they try to drug them out, you know, and seen some stuff, man. They used to breathe in spray paint. Man, it was sad walking past them, man. You know, walking down, you know, we thought they gave their life away and shit. You know, drinking and shit. But shit, we on drugs and shit. We walking around, all of us is crazy, man. Come to think of it, we out there running around each other, we hitting each other and shit. We don't even want to fight each other. We just fighting each other. We out there fighting, just playing around though. We're not hurting each other and shit. You know, but we was out there, we just fucked up. But you know, not hurt each other. You know what I mean? We were sad to see them like that, but we realized we on crack and our kids selling crack to the parents and shit like that, and the years coming up, man. But now we're about to beat that now, though. We're like beating that now. People's cleaning up. Ain't no crack on the reservations. Must clean up the reservations now. Niggas gonna unite. I'm telling y'all, man, we're gonna roll up. We're gonna roll up and check out the reservation. You're gonna see things that you ain't never seen before. Learning little animals about the beaver and shit like that. They're gonna allow you to come through. Cause they realize we ain't supposed to be separated no more, man. We actually love each other. It's not like us and the Mexicans, and I'm not trying to talk bad about the Mexicans, but the niggas and Mexicans ain't never really got along. Only with the natives and the bros, if they was locked up or whatever, their fireness in them will probably fight one another. You know what I'm saying? But they both is bold anyways. That's why they kind of like buck up. But in real life, man, Muz already put in the work with the all spirit, you know? Our ancestors and their ancestors are working together right now. For even to get this information out. It just means for us as the OGs to get celibate real quick. That's all. And then we'll blend in and everything will be smooth. Let me see what time it is. I'm gonna hop up off it. But there's a difference between us and the African. For sure. For sure. We're more like the natives and the Hawaiians and the Samoans and the Tongans and the Fijitans and the Solomon Island motherfuckers. We're more like them. We're more like them than we are like Africans. And these niggas are separated through water and shit, so you know they some special. You know they special. Shit, the Fijitan got like 1,000 islands, motherfucker, and they niggas, they rock their afro. And it's not even afro, they just afro. That's what they rock they free. That's what it is, they rock they free, man. And them some of the most peacefulest people you will ever meet in your life. I like Africans, but you meet a Fijitan, you probably don't meet nothing as peaceful as that, man. And they look just like us. But they just live out in the water and shit out there. My bro, he climbed the coconut tree. 4 seconds, climbed the coconut tree, got the champagne coconuts. The tree was like 80 feet tall, man. He learned how to do that shit when he was a child. He lived in Minnesota too, and then we met out here. Ain't that something? You know, the Most High, man, he just showing us who's all one. Who got the bop, you know? Who got the bop? Who not? You know what I'm saying? Because that cluster B personality disorder is what separates us. You'll see when Mud's trying to get in on your whole little shit, but they say the destiny swap or whatever, trying to get in on your inheritance that's already promised to you. For the hell you already went through to come out right. Now you can inform other coaches. When you go and move on in the spirit game, you can actually inspire other worlds when you go in other worlds. You don't just be a physical flesh dude on the earth, reincarnating over and over again like the fossil science say that you do. Nah, you travel and go to other worlds to see other infinite things of the Most High that He's created. His knowledge is infinite. The born is equality. It's the true all God. That's what you do. You go out, you like little mini gods. You just go out and manage worlds. Inspire worlds, raising vibration like how we inspire each other in the flesh right now to do the right thing. There's light bodies that do the same thing. When they're ancestors of their world. And so they click up with us when we get on their world. This has been going on for eon, forever. This has been going on forever. They just don't want you to know the shit. But now, they time's up, so now you know. You know what I mean? It's all about this unit going on in this piece. That's it. So yeah, Africans and the foundational Americans are not the same. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about it's like saying that Asians too, with the other Asians is trying to claim the natives over in our land too. Like them natives been with us too. Like I say, they've been for already thousands of years. So there's a big separation between us, especially the so-called Negroid species. You know, there's definitely a big separation. All you got to do is vibe together. And so-called Europeans or white folks, whatever you want to call them, you know, we know European, there's black Europeans and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But they actually see, they like, man, you think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? Like I don't know the difference between a black American and an African. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they know because they travel around. They're like, nigga, I know what a nigga is. But I'm saying it like that. I'm like, nigga, I know what a nigga is, man. I've been around. I know the vibe. I know the feel. I know how they make you feel. I know how hospitable they are. It's hard for them to get mad at you. And if they mad at you, hey, man, some might go down. But you know what I mean? But it's hard for them to do it. They're trying to talk their way out of it. And how can we make it work, motherfucker? Can you go over there? And we can still be over here. I can love you from a distance, man. We ain't gotta hurt each other, shit, fuck it. We just don't agree right now until you grow a little bit in your spirit and realize and shit. Like, hey, that's all, man. You know? Because at the end of the day, we're at a point where, you know, we had to realize what hell we had to go through to come out right. And that's it. And now we're at a point where we can start to unite, but it's not like in the sexual manner, like, you know, now we can mix our seed. It's dealing with the spirit. You just take a few years to deal with the spirit. It's okay. You ain't missing shit. You ain't missing nothing. It's all right, man. Cultivating happiness is okay. You gotta leave that orgasm within first, B. You know what I'm saying? Once the energies of see that you're doing that, they're gonna aid and assist you in all that you need. Link you up with the right ones with all that you need that can actually listen to you, that actually will vibe with you. They go Mozart right there, which is the butterfly. I said that one time on the brother. He was like, where? I was like, that's the butterfly. He was like, I be by myself, so you know what I'm saying. But anyhow, though, we'll know how to vibe. It's through the celibacy. I'm gonna get really more intricate into raising the light to the 33rd vertebrae, getting into the crown chakra, and basically this little oil it's an oil inside your body, and it crosses your little vagus nerve, and it kind of like, you know, it's symbolic to the Mary and Jesus story type shit. And this is like the Christ light, or this Christ oil, this anointing oil that's born in the base of your solar plexus, and it travels up. It's an oil, and we have done it, but we're gonna do it now. And when you get to that point, you're still partying. You're just not gonna be as lustful. It's easier to come back up in vibration and shit, as versus like, you know, just staying down low and being in ruminant thoughts. Because when you're dealing with this Mercury retrograde that's about to be popping off real soon, that right there is just a training. It's a spiritual training for you to be able to deal with the past and get rid of it, because Mercury is helping you to do it. It's the divines up there that's helping you to do the shit. You're aiding and assisting. The Most High wants you to do it. You know, that's why Mercury retrograde and shit like that. That's dealing with mental. The Mercury is dealing with it's a mental planet. It's my ruling planet when he's dealing with Virgo. You know, in the tropical astrology. When we had that, that's our shit. Astrology, all that. You can get back into that. Take this little year to learn things that you may want to know. Which is, you may want to learn astrology from the right way, like astrology, like, you know what I'm saying, astronomy and shit like that. You know what I mean? So you can be able to add on to the cipher with us as the family. Now you got something, you done added up, you done mastered this, whatever you feel that you should do. Check your natal chart out. See what your north or south node is, because Ptolemy knew that you would be doing this shit, so they switched the north and south nodes on us. But you'll feel what you would like to do, versus like what you did earlier in your life. You can look at it like that, or some people look at it as a past life and then what you're supposed to do in this life. But if you just look at it for this life, you see what you was interested in earlier in your life and what you're going to be interested in later on. Like if you have like a north node in Aquarius, you may have a south node in Leo. You know what I mean? Because they're polar opposites of one another. So you basically was like a leader in past times or whatever, and you're kind of going into more communicating things and dealing with Aquarius energy, you know what I mean? Dealing with the holding the water bearer, the holding the water, but it's still a wind sign. Whatever it is, I'm just talking that. I ain't want to just get directly into that. That's whoever it applies to. But that's just whatever. You can find it out. Most High gave you the blueprint to do that. Whether to see if just to give you insight on making the decisions and how to be able to tap into the divine with the energies of the planets, which is alive. You know, all these things is alive. Everything's alive. Everything moves, even if it appears stationary. Even if it's an atom and shit. You know what I'm saying? The atom and the proton and the electron, whatever they want to call it, or even if it's a wave of energy flux, whatever it is, it's moving, it's vibrating at a certain frequency, you know? Buoyancies and things of that nature. You know, not no gravity and shit. Everything's buoyancy, so it's on levels and shit. It's always going to be about levels. You know, buoyancies and frequencies. So, yeah. So anyhow, though, with that being said, I know I gotta agree to let the dang phone charge up, because I know I be done sometimes. But I thank y'all for joining in. As long as we can do that, you know, this is something that we know is that we actually are doing. You know, and some of the brothers who's like teaching online, you can learn from them still, adding together. You know, knowledge is the foundation, wisdom is the way to the understanding. The understanding show you that we don't play. And understanding completes the cipher of, you know, basically knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is knowledge and wisdom, which is man and woman, or masculine and feminine energies, say it like that, which born is the understanding, which is the comprehension of what we put forth, you know? When you put 1, 2, and 3 together, that's gonna make 6. 6 is the equality. 1, 2, 3 equals 6. But you go to the next stage, which is the fourth, which is the culture. Your culture, now you live your culture. If you got man and woman and child, you gotta have a culture for your child. You know, the woman is the one who's responsible for the culture. The baby looks up to the woman. She reflects the knowledge of the man onto the child. She actually is like, she knows the man is the head. Anyone who's saying it is not, that means she hasn't met the right man, you know, and she probably is toxic, and at this point dealing with narcissism or some type of trauma that she had in the past, you know, or even in the genes that she even experienced herself, but it's in the genes that her spirit put on that she's experiencing, and it's hard for her to overcome, you know. Sometimes you got men that bash women too, but that's a part of the cluster B. You have the traits and shit, so it's important to handle yourself. You know, but when you're dealing with that's the fourth. The fourth is your culture. Your culture is to be free. Knowledge and an understanding, to be a master. That's the M letter in the alphabet, but we're gonna deal with the mathematics stuff. But the culture is to be free. The freedom, the freedom, which is I God. This is your culture, just to live free, to do what you need to do in order to acquire your understanding, and not to be a savage in pursuit of happiness in no form or fashion, you know. That goes into your power now. Your power is what? Your energy, force, and magnetism. In order to see your power in this time, you're going to have to utilize the knowledge that you know in this world. That's to remove anything that's trash and filth, which is called refinement. And it's an ongoing process for forever. You ain't going to never stop doing this, even in the spirit. You're always going to be refined. You're always going to be ascending. That's what ascending is. Constantly refining yourself. So, by utilizing your power, which is the truth is evident. In order to get to the truth, you're going to have to be able to remove some things in order to find it. It be hidden sometimes. But once you get to it, you see that it always existed. And it's the only thing that's pure is the truth. 2 + 2 always going to be 4. It ain't going to never change, no matter what they say and try to trick you on or whatever. That shows what equality is. The truth is the equality. That's number 6 now. You know what I'm saying? The equality of what? Knowledge is the only thing that can equal everything. The knowledge of the Most High, the Creator, the All, the High, the secure breath that holds us all together in all realms, no matter what. Whether you're the highest of angels or the lowest of creepy crawling things on the earth. That's what holds us together. And so, with that, now you know that you God now. Most High gave you that title now in the spiritual nature, just to study life around you. And not just to give it an acronym like of Islam, because, you know, we crafty, intuitive, we can make anything sound smooth and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever we intend to do it with when we're using our heart. But the God in you is the motivator, sustainer, controller, and Lord of all the worlds that you have within, on you. Whether it's the elements, the 92 naturally occurring elements, or the 99 naturally occurring elements, it can correspond with the 99 attributes of Allah, they say. It can correspond with the 92 naturally occurring elements, which is 9 and 2, which is knowledge and knowledge, which is a king dome, a wise dome. You naturally king, no matter which way they slice it and put it. It's going to be all wise, right? You're going to be all wise, right, and exact, at no limit of time. It's perfect. And that's what they hate. So now you're getting your culture. You know? So now you what? You're building now. You're building to bring forth an understanding. Now you build. What do you use to build? You use the Most High's knowledge and wisdom. You know, to be wise, to bring forth the understanding. You're using structure, which is which we see as solids, liquids, and gases, the Most High's wisdom that we can see that's made manifest to build. Now, whether it's a structure to make a building, or what we call a building, or architecture, or we can use our knowledge now as a form of building. Now we get to understand it when we communicate to one another. And anything that's weak and wicked will be destroyed. That's build and destroy. two ciphers coming together, 360 degrees of knowledge, 360 degrees of wisdom. 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, understanding over here, and 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, understanding over here. Figure 8 that comes together. So you forever building and destroying at all times, whether you know it or not. You're always at war. It's always at war. You just got to choose your battles wisely. Not the war that you're thinking about. Shout out to my thug. Not the war that we're thinking about running on the battlefield like that, because we're always on the battlefield, because we're always constantly refining ourselves. So we're destroying anything that's weak and wicked at all times. Build and destroy. Destroy borns God. So if destroy borns God and you came to build, that shows and proves that you already acknowledge the cipher, that you are the justice scale holder, that you're here to serve justice of the divine, the supreme equality of the universe, which is just ice. It's the J, it's the 10th letter. Which you put 8, which is build, destroy together. It's build, born's understanding, destroy born's God. That's 3 and 7. 7 and 3 equals 10. And it shows and proves that you acknowledge the cipher. 10 is justice in your supreme alphabet. And so justice so happens to born equality, proven true at no limit of time. It means that all the letters come together, they're going to born 6 once again. And so, showing that you know that you acknowledge your cipher, you standing next to 0, you can multiply yourself times infinity, man. Because you're already complete and whole with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So you get to born. You're born in what? You, yourself, your way of life, your culture, all over again, continuously. It's a cycle for forever. So yeah, that being said, I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And shoot, make sure you get your fruits, berries, and melons in and stay tuned. Now y'all see it's the difference between us and them. Alright? We them niggas. I love y'all. Peace.